Our trip to Chile wouldn't have been complete without a visit to the capital, so towards the end of our stay, we decided to visit Santiago. We had 4 days to discover what the city was all about, so we set out to visit the main attractions, sample Chilean food, and explore various neighborhoods on foot. We may not have been able to see it all, but the following is our experience in the city. For anyone planning a similar trip, here's a look at 20 things to do in Santiago de Chile on your visit. So today we are visiting Santa Lucia Hill. This is actually an extinct volcano right in the middle of the city. It's 69 meters tall and we're gonna go check it out. Santa Lucia is an urban park smack dab in the middle of Santiago, and it's a popular hangout in the afternoons and weekends. The hike is a pleasant one with lots to see, including fountains, spiraling staircases, defensive forts, sprawling gardens, and cool lookout points.
Lastaria is a neighborhood located just east of Santa Lucia Hill, and it was once the Bohemian hub of the city. Today it is very popular with tourists as it offers an outdoors flea market, an international mix of cafes and restaurants, and live music.
And now we're going to take you to what we think is the best ice cream shop in town. It's called Emporio La Rosa. Lots of great selections, and we've been coming here almost every single day we've been in Santiago. So that's something.
A little bit more than we'd like to admit.
Yes. Let's go in. Sam, you got your favorite flavor. Want to show us?
Yes, dulce de leche. Right here.
Dulce de leche.
And let's take the first bite. I mean, they gave such a generous portion here that not only do we get a cone, but you also get a cup as well.
Yes.
So it doesn't melt and overflow. I really like that idea. They should do that in more places around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh.
Are you having a moment there?
Divine. You know what? You know what really makes this dulce de leche flavor so good, especially at this place, is that it's a little bit salty.
Really?
Normally it's just really, really sweet, but there's this kind of little tinge of salt. It just makes it awesome.
That's
Love
unusual.
It. Love it.
So I got some ice cream as well, of course. So this is actually raspberries and mint. So I'm not a huge fan of mint, but I really like raspberries.
No, that's an interesting combo. I've never had that before. What can you taste more, the raspberry or the mint? Definitely the raspberry?
Yeah.
Not too much mint?
The mint is a very subtle aftertaste and it just makes it a little bit more refreshing. So yeah, I'm a fan of this one. I'd recommend it. For panoramic views of the city, ride the funicular to the top of San Cristobal Hill. You can catch the funicular at Pio Nono station and either pay to stop halfway up the hill at the zoo or ride all the way to the summit. Keep in mind that the lines tend to be a bit longer on weekends, especially as you approach sunset. Okay, so we rode the funicular and we made it to the top of San Cristobal Hill, and you get some pretty spectacular views. You can see the Andes and they look like they're within reach.
I know. It almost makes me want to go climb them, but I'm a little too lazy. I think we'll go get food instead.
Another time. It's time for a little afternoon snack in Santiago. Today we're at a restaurant called Galindo, and we're going to be trying a dish that's called choridana, and this is a lot like a Canadian poutine. Now, if you're not too familiar with Canadian poutine, that's kind of like when you get some French fries with gravy and cheese and other ingredients over top. So this is going to be similar, but with a Chilean twist. So we're waiting for the food to arrive now. The food has arrived, and the funny part is this is listed as an appetizer or a starter for one person. If you have a look at that, that's enough to feed 2 grown people.
Yes.
I think Sam and I are going to struggle with
this. It's our main for 2.
Yeah, definitely. Alright Sam, so it's time to give us a tour of the plate.
Yes, so before I tuck into this tasty little treat, I'm going to explain what we've got here. So we have tenderloin, onion and scrambled egg on top of those French fries.
So it's actually a little bit different from the first time we tried Choriana because that had a fried egg on top and also sausage.
Yes.
But this still looks good.
This has a lot more meat. Like this is a very generous portion.
So dig right in, hungry boy.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Enjoying that?
Oh yeah. Wow, those are like really tasty onions. You can tell they've been marinated in something. French fries, caramelized onions, I think. And the French fries are golden perfection. It's just, this is gonna be an awesome, filling, carb-loaded, delicious little treat.
So we've had this dish a few times since we've arrived in Santiago, and no two Chorianas are the same. This one is different. I mean, it has no sausage or hot dogs, and that was our first experience trying Chorianas. And also this one has scrambled eggs instead of a fried egg on top. So it's kind of nice that you can always find a bit of variety when you go to a different restaurant. And I think I'm ready for my first bite. Got a little bit of everything on there. Wow.
That meat is tender, isn't it?
It is tender. It is tenderloin, so it should be tender.
It should be tender.
Wow. That's nice. In a way, it's kind of nice that they only have the beef and there's no sausage because, like, this is a really good cut of meat. It's very juicy, so the flavors really come through.
You don't have too many competing tastes.
Yeah, you don't need a whole lot of ingredients with this dish. Not when it's done well.
Plaza de Armas is the heart of Santiago's historic center, and it's not a bad place to do some people watching. There are lots of benches under the cover of palm trees, and the place is buzzing with activity no matter what the time of day.
Pup, you're getting a massage. Are you enjoying your massage? Have a nice smile, pup.
The Metropolitan Cathedral is located in the historic center of Santiago overlooking the square. The construction you see today dates back to the year 1800 since previous cathedrals were destroyed in earthquakes.
When it comes to sunsets, Santiago knows how to put on a show. The best known spot in town for 360-degree views of the city is Sky Costanera, with an observatory that is open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Alternatively, you could enjoy the free views from one of the city's residential skyscrapers like we did. Since we were renting an Airbnb apartment for the duration of our stay, we had access to our building's rooftop terrace and the views were pretty spectacular.
A way to cool down here in Santiago is to go and get yourself a Pisco Sour. This is a really refreshing drink. Basically, it's a Pisco brandy, which is a grape brandy. And then you combine that with citrus juice, and there's egg white on top. And if you can see this, there's a little bit of a brown kind of caramel color.
Yeah, it's called bitter.
That's bitter, exactly. So let's try this out and see if it's
Salud!
good. That's real nice. Very refreshing, very sweet, but also quite tart as well.
Santiago Central Market is the place to come for the freshest food. Inside the market you'll find butchers and fishmongers. It's okay to skip that part, but if you continue your exploration, you'll find rows of restaurants serving up everything from grilled fish to ceviche. We really like our ceviche, so we found a place serving exactly that.
Parque Forestal is a park that forms a long stretch of greenery along the Mapocho River. It's a nice green escape in the middle of the city, and we noticed it was really popular with couples who were just lounging around on the grass.
Palacio de la Moneda is the seat of the President of the Republic of Chile. This is where you can come to watch the changing of the guard, but keep in mind that it only happens every other day. We just missed it. Just underneath Palacio de la Moneda, you'll find Centro Cultural Palacio de la Moneda, which is a cultural center featuring exhibitions, design shops, and a small selection of cafes. It's a nice place to cool down and check out some art if it's a really hot day out. So we found this empanada shop. It's called Zunino, and it was packed. It's probably about 1:30 right now. So the line really was stretching out of the establishment, but we managed to place our order. We ordered 1 cheese empanada and 1 pino empanada.
Yeah, what's kind of unique about that place is that that's all they do. They only have these 2 varieties.
That's
you either
it, yeah.
get your Pinot beef or your cheese.
So it's a very small selection, but I think that means they really know how to make a good empanada.
Alright, and I'm having the cheese one, and it is still piping hot, so this looks really cool. I can tell that the pastry already before biting into it is going to be really flaky.
Yeah. Is that the cheese one for real, or is it beef?
Oh yeah,
It's
that's
cheese?
the cheese one.
I don't know how you could tell.
And you know what? This is really good quality one. Like you can tell just from, if you get close up in on the pastry
Yeah.
here, just the attention to detail of the pastry, like it's just so flaky.
Lots of layers.
It's just melting right in my mouth, and then that gooey cheese. Oh, that is just a winning combo.
Alright, so I tried the cheese one. The cheese one was really tasty. Now time for Pinot. How looking there? Juicy, look at that. So, this one has beef, onions, and olive, and I've got the pit in my mouth right now, so excuse me. It also has egg, but I haven't bitten into that part yet. So, like, it's really nice and juicy inside, still warm. What surprises me though is the size. Like when we made our empanada video in San Pedro de Atacama, like those were massive empanadas. They were almost like bigger than a main course plate. But these are much
These are more
smaller.
snack size, right?
Yeah, I'd say they're about half the size of the ones we had in Atacama. So yeah, I mean, I kind of like it because I struggled to finish those big ones. Like the ones we had in Atacama were really good for sharing, but this is like a good individual size.
So it's not going to ruin your lunch or dinner so long as you have it as a snack. And the quality?
It's really good. Look at those onions. Look at that. Ooh. Apparently there's a bit of a craft beer scene here in Santiago, and Sam, you've just been sampling everything you can.
Yeah, there really is. Well, it's been really hot in Santiago lately, in all fairness, to my defense.
Excuses.
Excuses. But this is really good quality craft beer. A lot of the ones I've been having have actually tasted a little bit like grapefruit, so I'm interested to see what this one over here tastes like.
Do you remember the name of it?
Shop.
Shop.
It's called Shop.
What kind of shop?
This is Amber Shop.
All right.
And it does have a little bit of a grapefruit taste.
Why does it taste like grapefruit?
I don't know. That's the way they make craft beer over here. And
they've got some kind of secret here in Chile.
It tastes good.
Bella Vista is a neighborhood located just east of the city center. It's a cultural hub with lots of theaters, cinemas, cafes, museums, and restaurants. The most famed home in the neighborhood is La Chascona, the home of the famed Chilean poet Pablo Neruda. Unfortunately, no filming or photography are allowed inside the premises.
When it comes to art, you have a few choices. Just across Parque Forestal, you'll find the National Fine Arts Museum focusing on Chilean paintings and sculptures. And then directly behind the museum, you'll come across the Museum of Contemporary Art, which focuses on pieces from the turn of the 19th century.
Last but not least, you can wander around the small neighborhood of Paris, Londres. This neighborhood features cobbled streets, restored mansions, and it's a nice little walk if you're in the area.
And that's a wrap for the Chilean capital. We hope you enjoyed the Santiago travel guide and that it gave you a few ideas of things to do, places to visit, and Chilean dishes to try in the city. As always, if you have any suggestion of things travelers should add to their Santiago itinerary, feel free to share those with us in the comments below.